The end of week 10, and this is your week 10 weekly recap. I have 4 areas I want to cover with you this evening. First of all, I want to review what is content. Unfortunately, after reading through the Padlet boards and some of your other postings, some of you completed the entire week and you still are not comfortable understanding what is content. A content area is anything that is not reading or literacy instruction. So science, social studies, history, geography, math, writing, art, music, any other subject is the content area. So the first activity that you were asked to do was to go onto Padlet and to use the Pennsylvania State Standards website and to go through and see those big ideas and then your concepts and competencies, and from there figure out what is a theme you could use in your classroom to teach an integrated unit in the content areas. Some of you posted units that were from reading, phonics, comprehension. Those are not content areas. You have to find something that is outside of reading to be in the content area. And that's what we talked about this week. How do we integrate content into our reading instruction? And so this is what we need to focus on. If you were one of those people that posted incorrectly and used a reading or literacy kind of example, you really should go back in and try the activity again, because that's really important for you to understand how to create themes that are outside of reading. Because it wasn't easy. You have to really think outside the box and look at those general concepts and competencies and see how you could grab a theme from those. Second, I want to review the principles to guide vocabulary instruction. This was one part of a 2-part question for your discussion thread this week. This answer comes directly from slide 17 of your presentation, and this explains the 6 principles that guide your teaching of vocabulary. This is just, again, basic information to help guide you in planning as the teacher who will be giving boys and girls opportunities to learn new words. So the first guideline is you must select appropriate words. We need tier 2. If at this point you're not familiar with tier 2, go back into the presentation. Also, you want to relate all of the new vocabulary words to either words that the students already know, so they be synonyms, or to experiences that they have had in their background knowledge. We want to make sure that they can make connections. Students who can't make connections to new words do not remember the new words. Then you want to select activities that will help our students engage with the new vocabulary words before, during, and after reading content that has those words in. So you'll have some before reading activities. Then during reading, you'll be either using graphic organizers, or the students will be at the very least listening for the words and giving you some sort of signal that they're hearing them. And after reading, you'll check either predictions or graphic organizers to make sure what you brainstormed in the beginning or previewed in the beginning is correct. And if not, you're going to be making some changes and then following up with some explicit instruction. There are some words that will definitely need explicit teaching. And this is because they're either very difficult or very new for our students. Those are the ones you're going to do activities like word posters or just making pictures to represent these words because they're harder than the others, and there aren't maybe synonyms or background knowledge to relate them to. Last, and this is the bottom line, is vocabulary instruction must be fun. You want students to know that you're excited about them learning new words. We want them to try to use new words in your classroom and remember the meanings. This isn't a kind of vocabulary program where you study, you memorize, you take a test, and then you don't look back, because those kind of programs last about 2 weeks in your memory. And so we want students to engage in activities where they're building vocabulary and they're excited over the new words and they're using them and they're not losing them. And the more that you're motivated by seeing them use new words in their classroom, by finding big words in their text, by hanging these words in the classroom and making a big deal about them, is how you motivate and engage them into this vocabulary instruction. Now, our last 2 updates are related to content in our course aside from our learning. First of all, participation points. I want you to make sure that you read the comments that I put in your Dropbox each week for participation. I read through all of your information that you've dropped, and I also read all of your Padlet boards or anything else that's within the presentation. And I usually make comments on them. I will be posting your comments tomorrow morning, which would be Monday morning. Some of you did not answer or post appropriately this week, especially in Padlet. We had 5 Padlet boards, I believe. If you do not answer all parts of a question, and that question is right at the top of the Padlet board, you will not receive points. So you can go to Padlet and you can type something, but if you don't answer the question, all parts of it, you don't get points for it. So if you need to revisit it, do that before Monday morning. And think carefully when you go to Padlet, read the question at the top. Make sure you're posting appropriately. Some of you, I believe, are being lazy. I know it's late in the semester, but this is where we really need to dig deep and keep going. Many of you are doing a fantastic job, and I commend you, and you know who you are. You know if you're giving me all your effort. Look at those Padlet boards. Is your answer answering everything? Does it have several sentences, or are you the one that has 2 sentences when everyone else has 10? You know who you are if you're not giving me 100%, and I know if you're not giving me 100%. This is a course where I have high expectations for your learning, and so I'm counting on you to do what is expected of you and answer everything that I give you. Last, keep on track. Projects are coming due quite quickly from now until Thanksgiving. Next week, we have a book list project due. I have about 8 of you that have already posted that. Good job. Remember, it can tie into your thematic unit for your curriculum alignment project. And last, on the week of Thanksgiving, we have 2 lesson plan demos due. So keep at it. Don't give up. The end is in sight. This semester is coming to a close very quickly. We still have a lot of content to learn, and I'm excited to share those things with you. This week coming up is fluency, so get ready for week 11.